Happy New Year again. I have another video that I want to make on this. I've always been fascinated by shamanism, and there's a guy, Shaman Durek, that made a very, very cool video, and there's things that I wrote down that I want to touch upon. Because of course there's many things to reflect in 2020 and hopefully carry that wisdom forward into 2021 and beyond. And there's many things that he said. He said 2020 was about seeing what really matters to you. And I made a post early during the pandemic that even early on, it was showing us what really matters to us, because what I mentioned was that gorgeous car that you've worked really hard to acquire and have and enjoy, which there's nothing wrong with that, but now it was just sitting in your parking lot or garage, driveway, whatever, while you were in quarantine at home, not leaving your house. And I think that put things into perspective for a lot of people. Even the gorgeous home that you enjoy, that for many people now, the mortgage payments were becoming a very huge stress during the pandemic. And it puts things into perspective of what really matters. There's nothing wrong with having a huge, gorgeous house. But for some people, it allowed them to see maybe where they want to take their priorities now moving forward into the future. He also said something that I've been saying all along, that we realized and were reminded of how valuable a connection is to another person, to nature, to family, to friends, and actually to people in general. And I've seen that in my own life. I've been saying all along that now we can truly value a hug. I feel like we've taken things for granted, and we've taken smiles for granted. One thing that I've always said that I love about where I live in Martha's Vineyard, and one thing that blows my mind, and the more I travel, the more I notice this, is that people here, everywhere you run into someone, you're walking around, you're walking your dog, you're actually on a bike ride, going out for a run, everyone says hi to you, and people smile to you all the time. And I took that for granted for many years, and the last, I have no idea, like few years, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've been actually being more aware of that and being more grateful for that. When I go into many cities, I notice that people don't even look at you when you're walking around. And it's okay, I'm not here to criticize cities. There's many beautiful things about cities, but that connection, that smile that now we miss so much because everyone's wearing a fucking mask, and we miss that connection of just a beautiful smile at the supermarket, at the post office, at any store, around the streets. And I think we're not going to take that for granted anymore. Hopefully. Third point, it showed us that division is not the answer. 2020 definitely showed us that division is not the answer. There's many people at the very top that maybe want us to be divided. They profit, not just financially, but in other ways, of us being divided. And luckily, there's more and more people bringing into awareness that might not be the way to move forward. That might not be the best way to get through this. That might not be the most beneficial way for everyone. We need each other. We're all in this together. And this pandemic, everything going on, showed us that even more, to a deeper level, that we're all in this together. He said that 2020 was a year to release emotions. Obviously, quarantine, in a way, quote unquote, forced us to go in, forced us to slow down, and brought up every emotion you can imagine, every emotion that we've been running away from, every emotion that we've been hiding from, that maybe we never felt that we were ready to face, and now we had no choice. It was an emotional roller coaster for most of us, if not all of us. There's many times throughout the year that maybe you felt amazing, and there's times where you felt like crap. I had many times where I felt great. I had many times where the pain that other people were going through was very challenging for me to feel that. There's months where actually for me, I went through hell. I remember actually November, it was craziest emotional roller coaster I've ever experienced. And it was a year where a lot came up. I remember seeing a meme going around that 2020 was like you being forced into like psychotherapy, whatever, contracts with someone, or I forget how they said it, where you were invited to look at all the emotions that we haven't looked at, and all the wounds and all the stuff and the patterning and things and the way you're thinking and perspective and everything that was ready to be looked at, seen, heard, felt, experienced, let go of, alchemized into a new way of living. That's a very exciting thing that I think we'll see over time. He said we've taken nature for granted. It was beautiful to see throughout the pandemic those posts about the water being cleaner, animals, like how their life, like wildlife, how they were benefited from less cars, less pollution. So we've taken nature for granted. And he also said we've taken life for granted. I don't think I need to explain that. I think we're being reminded of the value of life and the gift that it is, and the gift that health is. That's it for that one. He said it was a time to remove walls and labels and all the things that we've stuffed under the rug and denied for so many years. Allow them to come out and be alchemized into new energies. The most obvious one, I think, and not only in the US, I wasn't going to say at least in the US, but I think it was worldwide, was racism. And it was probably one of the most challenging things throughout the year. And in many ways, the way it played out was very challenging, but it was in very ways very necessary for this topic of racism to be looked at by the entire world in a different way, and for change to actually start to happen. The change that so many of us have been wanting to see for years and decades, and actually centuries for many people, that it needs it deserves the time and attention and energy that it has received after the unfortunate things that have happened throughout the year. And yeah, that's a whole other topic that I've been it was a challenging one. I've had conversations with many people, because it's very helpful to get perspective from different people on everything that happened. So maybe that's a topic for another video. This one's already longer than I wanted to make it, but I think there's many things that we can be grateful for 2020. It showed us many things and many areas of life, many areas of the way that we live that needed to be looked at, many areas of how we treat each other, and cultural things that need to be looked at, and societal things. and global things that need to be looked at and faced and fucking changed. It's time. It's time for all of us to do everything we can. For us, for future generations, for the planet, for all of us. So I'm incredibly grateful for the crazy wild ride that 2020 was. And there's a lot of beauty coming out of it. And of course, I'm sending all my love to anyone that has lost someone they love. I can't even imagine. People that I know personally have lost people, and I can't even imagine, on top of everything that happened, going through that. And people that live in California going through all the crazy fires. And there was so much. This could be a 2-hour video. But all my love going to those people that went through that, and to everyone that really showed up to help, and showed up to help the people in need. I mean, even people that didn't have much, that helped people that had less than they had. That is one of the most, I'm getting chills right now. That's one of the most inspiring things that I've seen, and one of the most inspiring things that we can do for each other. So that's definitely one of my intentions for this year moving forward, to help more people in more ways at a deeper level. I wish you an incredible 2021. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but at the same time, I know there's a lot of beauty that's going to come out of it. If I can help in any way directly, please reach out. Reach out. Sending all my best to you. Hope you have an amazing year. Love you.